Well, we are very happy this time because we have a new meeting in this encounter with artists. In this opportunity, we have two artists from different parts of the world, Aya Kikkawa and Madison Dewar. And we are very proud of your work and really moved. So this will be a very nice and very deep meeting, I'm sure. So many thanks for you too. And we start with Aya.
Yes. First of all, many thanks to Aya and Maddie. We know that it's very difficult for you because Aya is in Japan in this moment. It's very late.
Or early.
Early.
It depends.
It depends, and Maddie is in Canada, in the other side of the world, and many thanks to both of you. Well, I start. Aya Kikkawa is a visual artist and printmaker, works in Japan and Turkey. She holds an MA in printmaking from Camberwell College, University of the Arts, London, and a BA in media art from Tama Art University. Through travel and walking, Aya finds her relationship with the landscape. Her work is like a record of her dialogues, combining photography and drawing. Dear Aya, the audience is yours.
Thank you. Thank you for introducing and thank you for joining this talk. Thank you so much. I think I joined the residency last September, and it was very nice season for me to see the nature and different atmosphere from Japan or Turkey. And Andrea and Gabriel asked me to and push me to go outside in the nature and push me to do something new. So in the beginning, I was really anxious, a little bit nervous, but at the end, I'm so happy to join this residence series. Thank you so much. And
Your pleasure.
I'm going to share my screen.
Mhm.
Can you see the screen? Ah,
Yeah. No.
No.
Yeah. Es la página del.
Okay. Yes, perfect.
First, I show the result of my work, my practice. I made the stone sculpture with the paper. This is the installation pictures from the beach nearby the house. Yeah. And this is more detail of my object. And let me show the first practice in this residency. I started drawing with the paper, small papers, because me and other two artists stayed with me in the house. and also Andrea and Gabriel had some communication difficulties of communication, because both of us, all of us, is not speaking English as a first language. So I started drawing with the line, a straight line, curved line, and I tried make the line as possible as simple I can. Yes, because I was very inspired by the painting and drawing in the cave, and also the replica of the painting of the Altamira cave. They used the very simple line, but yet strong line, and also used the cracks and uneven shape from the surface in the cave. So I was trying to do this drawing like when we are looking the painting in the cave and communicate with the people in the past. I try to make the commonality between the our experience and my drawing. So the drawing and line might not beautiful at this stage, but I try to not delete too much, not duplicate the line many times. Just drawing simple, as simple. And after drawing with the black pencil, I started drawing with color pencils to make the same image from the previous drawing. And so I try to repeat the same image again and again, and the image becomes more clear in my mind, and the lines become more strong, and with color it has more life. It feels more live. And in parallel, I went to the beach and drawing on the sand with the wooden stick. It's also from the beach. It was also very different experience for me because the texture and the materials is so difficult to even reach the beach, because there's so many rocks and the waves come and go. So I felt so scared in the beginning, but I push myself because I also remember the word from the Andrea Gabriel. I push myself also to go beach and then draw those images. As you can see, it's not very precise lines, not very beautiful lines, but it's very good practice for me. And I played video. And then I started making this sculpture and between the communication with Andrea and Gabriel, I found some similar process from the printmaking because I'm originally printmaker, and I normally do etching print with the pressing machine, and sometimes I do Japanese traditional woodblock printing. We called mokuhanga print that used the wooden barren. I have the one, this, to push the paper to transfer the image. And so I found some potential commonality between this sculpture and the printmaking. And let me play this video. you so much. Yes, my talk is finished.
Okay, Aya, sorry. Would you like to show those pieces because they are very beautiful if you show them?
Okay.
Yes,
One by one.
yes,
One by one.
yes.
Yes, please.
Yeah, secret. Yeah, that's all.
Many thanks, Aya. Many thanks, really.
Thank you.
It's
I finished. Oh,
too quick. Many thanks. Now again.
We
thank you.
really appreciate a lot your effort for the time
Thank you.
and for the language and for
Yeah.
everything. And
Sorry.
only one
Sorry.
correction. Your work is
Okay.
fantastic. All your work, not only
Yes.
the sculptures on paper. The previous one in the beach is beautiful too. Don't forget it. Okay. Well,
Okay. Well, many thanks, Aya. We
Thank
continue
you.
with Maddie.
well, Madison Dewar is a printmaker and painter from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. She has an undergraduate degree in fine arts from the University of Alberta and has displayed her work in variety of festivals and venues throughout the city. In her work, Madison is currently exploring caves as a source of both comfort and fear. In 2016, she was selected as an RBC Emerging Artist in Residence at the NAT Art Center for the Arts, where she now works as the studio manager. In 2022, she held her first solo exhibition, Subterranea, at Lowlands Project Space. She predominantly works in woodcut and relief printmaking, textiles, and painting in her artistic practice. Dear Madison, the audience is yours. We listen to you.
It's so good to see you guys again. Thank you so much for inviting me. I could talk forever about this residency. It was really quite profound and quite life-changing in a lot of ways. I was drawn to the residency because part of the experience was visiting multiple caves throughout the area, and my very deep interest right now is in caves. I was coming at it mostly from the experience of going into caves to look at the geology and kind of the natural aspects, but going to see the art was very, very moving, and I was quite taken by it. It was very profound, and Andrea and Gabrielle had lots of really amazing talks about what this meant in the broader scope of what it meant to be an artist and what it meant to be a person looking back at these now. And it was just very, very, very beautiful and very moving. So I didn't really know what to expect when I went. They said, don't bring anything. I did bring stuff and I didn't use it. And after the caves, they just said, please don't try and make anything. Like, it's too fresh. Please just go sit somewhere, be by yourself, and try and chase a deep feeling that you're having. So I tried to take that to heart. And that's kind of how I went about the rest of the residency. Let me see if I can. How do I oh, here we go. I'm going to share my screen here. Okay. Sorry, I have about 1 million open tabs, so this might be very annoying. So the first thing I did when after the caves is I did a lot of journaling. So I had my notebook with me. I went to the beach and I was just writing poetry for the first couple days, just trying to chase what it was that was so important to me. So this first poem here that I wrote is the one that kind of stuck with the most. And it was very emotional for me to write, and I still get teared up when I read it, so I apologize in advance if I get teary. But this is about one of the caves we went to and some of the art we saw there. So it says Kovalanyas, which is the name of the cave. And it goes, red ochre on the shape of in the wall in the shape of a doe, ears pricked, legs at the ready, 3 lines and nothing more. Our breathing blurs and echoes, and then suddenly the question. Tell me, is she alive? If you say no, I will leave you here, and you will say no, 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 so you can stay forever. The light springs and the deer springs into life, as if she was waiting to be found. Her legs stretch, and her nose smells sweet sunlight, her eye a burning star. The ochre rumbles and shifting with her stride. I have always been here for you. My heart is in my throat, and tears prick at my eyes. I am ashamed, and I push them away. I regret that now. So, is she alive? No, the cave is not alive. No, the stone is not alive. No, the deer is not alive. They do not breathe or remember or yearn. Let me be a liar so I can stay one moment more. But I can't, not in front of her. Yes, my traitorous mouth says, she is alive. It knows it is impossible to live inside a dream. So that was the first poem I wrote, and I was trying to kind of chase that feeling throughout the rest of the residency. So what I ended up doing was I wanted to spend as much time in nature as possible, and I wanted to use as many materials from the landscape as I could, kind of following in the tradition of those cave painters that would make portable artworks that were based on materials that they could trade or find around them. So I started by collecting from the landscape. So one of the first things I did was I collected pigments. So we have charcoal, red ochre, yellow ochre, and then mussel shells that I ground with a mortar and pestle that I made from the beach. And then I stained some strings that I used in later projects. Another thing that I was quite struck by was at the beach, there was all this plastic just kind of everywhere, which is very sad, but in a lot of ways it was very, very beautiful and very compelling to look at. So I would go to the beach and collect this plastic and then kind of sort it out to use it. And with this plastic and these strings and the grout that I was making, I started to make these portable artworks based on the animals in the landscape that I was seeing when I was visiting the nearby area. So I would walk around and I would sit down in the fields or on the beach and I would look at what was around me and try and find these shapes within stones and sticks and things that I was collecting. So there's a lot of bulls in the area, so I did a lot of those. Here's a little mosaic I made with the plastic from the beach and some stones from the mountains. And then the grout was ground up from the yellow ochre and kind of pressed in there to keep it all together. There's my mortar and pestle. And then I was also collecting pieces of wood from the beach and carving them. So I thought this one kind of looked like a bull as well. So I tried to carve and bring out the natural shape. And so once I'd been making all these things and I didn't really know what I was going to do with them. And I was also going to the beach and I was using my pigments to paint on the rocks and let the water kind of wash them away. So I did this a lot. I felt very compelled to do this. So I would go to the beach and I would paint on the rocks and watch the tide kind of take it away. And during this time, I went to the beach and oh, there's a cave on the beach. I didn't know this. So I was very, very excited. So I spent a lot of time crawling into this little hole on the beach and I was very excited about it and very, very moved by it. So I took my pigments and I did some paintings inside the walls of this cave in the beach. And this cave in particular is caused by the water coming in and out. So I knew that eventually this will disappear, but for the moment it's here and it felt very powerful to be doing that. So I went and I painted inside the cave. And then for the final day of the residency, I decided to do a performance. So I took all the objects I had and I wrapped them up with my strings that I had dyed. And I took them to the beach and I crawled inside the cave and I kind of placed them inside of there as a bit of an offering, as a bit of a memento to the place that I was. It's a way to kind of gather them all and kind of take a moment to acknowledge the space. So here I am in the cave with all my objects that I've scattered around. There's a few of them kind of in there. There's me crawling out. I was very happy, as you can tell. So that was kind of the end result, was this performance that kind of brought together all of the things that I had been doing, the painting, the building the objects, and then kind of tying them all together. So I spent as much time as I could in nature. But then when I got back, I wanted to kind of find a way to combine all of this together so it was easy for people to get a sense of what it was like, and so they could understand what it was like to be there too. I do have a video. I'll play it, and I'll just talk over it if that's okay. We can talk over the because it is long and I don't have forever, but we can kind of talk over it so you understand what I was thinking. Oh gosh, sorry. So there's the cave on the beach. Here I am crawling in. This was charcoal that I found on the beach from someone's fire. And then I drew on the cave walls, and then I used the water from the cave in there to kind of paint them, which I thought gave them a little bit more life. And one thing that I was really interested in is the animals in the caves that we visited from thousands and thousands of years ago. They would have been looking at the same animals essentially that are still in the area. So the sheep and the goats and the cows, like they've changed shape a little bit, but they're still there. So I wanted to kind of also capture what was around me and what would have been around them at that time. So this video is kind of a little bit of what I was looking at, what I was seeing, and then kind of combining it all together. That's the neighbor horse. I love her. She's very beautiful. This is that shot there was um, overlooking the farmhouse. There was a tree that I would sit under every morning and journal, and it was, I think, my favorite place to be. So I wanted to include that as well. So here's the finished painting. Tides coming in and out. The walk to the beach, making the pigments. These are my strings that I dyed. My friend. Carving on the beach. So I wanted to make all these pieces in nature too. So I would every morning I'd walk down to the beach, I'd go for a swim, I'd carve a little bit, come back to the studio, go out again. It was just a really nice way of making, because I feel like a lot of times as printmakers we're stuck in the studio, and it was really nice to just go out and make things in nature. Here I am, I'm at the beach. This is the performance on the last day. So I'm gonna go crawl in the hole. And Andrea and Gabrielle, I did not expect them to be as brave as they were. They were crawling right after me with their cameras, and it was very sweet. They were very lovely. And the fellows that were there at the same time as me, Sebastian and Marcella, were so lovely, and I think we all really enjoyed each other's company, and they also crawled in there with me a couple times too, which was really fun. Here's an inside shot. So I also wanted to leave a little piece behind. So this is the place that I would watch every day. So I made a little painting on stone with my pigments of the horse that I had bonded with from the next door, and I wanted to leave it behind somewhere. So I don't know if anyone is planning on going on the residency or if anyone's there, but if you wanted, you could see. It might be gone now. It might have been washed away, but I left a little memento there. So that one is still there on the rock wall. That was my way of kind of saying goodbye to the space and yeah, finishing the residency off. So there we go. So there's the video. So that was my experience. Maybe I'll show the images a little bit closer.
Yes, please.
So there's a plastic with the grout. This is with the string. This is all plastic. It was really strange. There was some plastic that made these round little gems, so I tried to collect a lot of those too. This is one of them kind of wrapped up. I think they take on a different life when they're hidden a little bit. This is the horse. A bird. A little snake and a little bird. So I was trying to find the images within the materials that already existed. I wasn't trying to shape them. I was just trying to bring them out. This is the cliffs. And like the cave painters, I tried to use the cracks and the different defaults within the rock to kind of create perspective. There's my mortar and pestle. I carved into that a little bit too. And then here are all the objects. Here are them all wrapped up. My messy station. Yeah, I think that's the end of my work.
Okay.
Thank
Many
you.
thanks, Maddie. Many thanks. We are really, this is nice to live again your presence here. Really, we are enjoying your presentation and Aya presentation very much because it's to live again all the emotions, the moments that we had together. That is really nice. So we would like to say anything? Okay. We are going to invite the other people to open your microphones and talk with Aya and Maddie. You like to comment, to ask anything, whatever you want.
Some of you? Susan? Yeah?
I was so surprised. I'm so surprised about the work of both of them. It's so poetic, so beautiful. I didn't stay there when they are working, but I can feel all the emotions from the screen. Thank you for sharing with us.
Many thanks, Susana. Many thanks.
Many thanks.
I would like to say, Aya, again, Gabriel told you, but I would like to reinforce anyway, because the process of your work here was really intense, and paper is difficult sometimes to see on the screen because there has many nuances that are imperceptible to the eyes through the screen. So the process that you had with the pencils and wrapping the stones and the previous drawing, all of them are wonderful, Aya. Wonderful.
Be confident.
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
Somebody else?
Okay.
Anne?
Monica.
Yes. Oh,
Sorry.
Yes.
sorry. Oh, yes. I would love to say something. Both of the works, both of the artists' works are absolutely lovely and poetic. I was thinking about when I saw Aya's work, and I don't know if this is coming from me or she said something about it, but I was thinking that the way that she had the drawings that are kind of almost like a topographical map, like with the concentric shapes. And when she was wrapping the stones, I was thinking that they almost became like the water level lines. Like if the water from the tide came in and out against that rock, then it would leave this kind of puddle
Yeah.
and make these shapes. And I really like that kind of reverse idea of like how topographical maps work, and this idea about water lines and seeing the space, how she was tracing around in the sand. And I mean, they're absolutely beautiful. The drawings also are so beautiful, also with the other ones that have like a bit more like twiggy kind of forms. I think of them as twigs. I don't know, like it's lovely. I mean, I think she really captured an essence of some kind of spirit within the rocks, and the idea of the striations and how you have different layers of different time periods kind of comes across through her line drawings. So, and then also looking at the mosaics. I'm sorry, I didn't catch the name of the other artist. I feel so bad that
Madison.
Madison.
Sorry, of Madison. I mean, they're so lovely, those mosaics. I mean, it's really a tender kind of process. It reminded me of like how there's these birds that kind of collect small objects to put in their nests, you know, to kind of attract a mate. And it reminded me a little bit of that, like these kind of little tiny colored shapes creating patterns. And I love the idea that she used that cave. I find it really fascinating, the idea of it being a kind of maybe filling with water at different times, and then kind of becoming a reflective space, you know, because the water reflects what's on the walls, and there's kind of like a artwork that's happening that people can't see, maybe. And yeah, I think it's very poetic work, and also those kind of shapes when she was like, looked like maybe a head of a bull or something. I'm not sure if that was a piece of wood or I think it was a piece of wood that she had carved into. Is very beautiful and finely done, and kind of made me think about um, very much like how when you're looking at something, how you kind of can see other shapes and transform, like how the walls of the caves would have been influential in creating space and form. And I don't know, they're very beautiful kind of ritual objects. So I thank you both to both of the artists for sharing. It's very inspiring to see, and they're very poetic and quiet pieces too, that are powerful because they're quiet. And I think that's important. Anyway, that's all.
Thank you,
you.
Anne.
We agree.
Monica.
Can you help me to translate my questions?
Okay.
I would like to ask something to both of them. Quisiera saber estos procesos tan bellos y profundos de cada una de ellas y tan diferentes, cómo afectaron su modo de trabajar, se han afectado y modificado su modo de ver y crear una vez que han regresado a sus espacios y a sus talleres. ¿Qué modificó esta experiencia en ellas?
Okay.
Well,
It's a very long question.
It's a question for both of you.
Yes. The question is, what modified you the experience here after when you return your home, if something has changed in your work or not, and how was about your process here? What did you feel? I don't know. Aya, would you like to start? Okay.
I think it's changed a lot for me because when I did the printmaking, there is a lot of techniques and we need a lot of facility and materials. But now I think I can do just go outside and drawing and I feel more easy. I take very easy to make the something, and
Great.
it was very encouraged me.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Monica, do you need the translation or do you understand? Understand. Okay, great.
Maddie, your opinion, please.
Yeah, I think about this a lot, actually. I think, you know, coming from like a university program in fine arts is very much about the concept and the idea, and you have to have a really good idea before you make something, and it all has to be interconnected. And I think going into this experience, I'd heard before, like your emotions don't really matter. It's the idea behind it that matters. Like, no one really cares about your feelings. And it was just such a 180 because Andrea and Gabrielle were like, no, your emotions are important. We want to see them. And I think making this work felt very important when I was doing it. And I think it kind of unlocked something in me that I still am chasing my emotions, I think, when I'm making things now. And I'm okay letting them in and not having a completely clear idea when I start, because I know by the end I'm going to figure it out. So I think in a lot of ways it's kind of liberated me a little bit to be a little bit freer when I'm making things and not worry so much about the concept in the process. So
Thank you, Mari.
Thank you.
¿Han contestado tu pregunta, Mónica?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank
Perfect.
you.
Thank you very much.
Graciela.
Grace, open your
Microphone.
microphone, please.
Your microphone. Okay.
A ver.
Ahora,
Yes, perfect.
English or Spanish? English, right?
English, please. You speak English very well.
It was so beautiful to see and to share your experience because I've been there and I relived being in that nature. Amazing what you both did. And I was surprised, and I want to ask you about this thing because Aya, you wrapped the stone, and Madison, you wrapped also the objects. I think, what did you want to do with that? I have my idea of what you wanted to do, but maybe you both can tell me something about it. The idea of covering, of wrapping.
For me,
Yes, please.
I think it is more important to pushing by the hand, pushing the paper onto the stone. The action is very important for me, more than the shape or looking.
Yes.
Because I feel so happy. I don't know. I'm so excited to the transformation of the paper, and because in beginning it was wet. I soaked the wet in the water, soaked the paper in the water, and then it was very soft, but while I'm touching the paper, it's a little by little drying and shaping, and it's very exciting onto the hand. Yeah.
Fantastic.
I have to add also, I don't know, Aya, do you have the pieces? You have still the pieces with you, but she left here with the entire pieces without the stone inside. So the objects remain in the same shape that she made. So they flew away in that way. Okay,
Maddie.
yeah, that's very interesting. It is interesting too because Marcella and Sebastian, who were there with me at the same time, they also had some wrapping elements in their final pieces too. So that's very, very interesting. I think for me, it was an act of like tenderness, of like keeping something safe, spending time with it, like protecting it. Like I wanted to kind of have this tender moment with the pieces. I think they're very special to me, and I'm very protective of them. Like I haven't really talked about a lot of them with other people. Actually, this is the first time. I'm very protective of them. So I think it was me trying to protect them a little bit and have a quiet moment with them that was just for me, and then where I can kind of keep them safe. So
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Wonderful.
Well, somebody else
Okay.
want to tell something to Aya or Madison?
Well,
No.
it has been really a pleasure to talk with you both, remembering all the times together and your work and your passion and your hard work. And I would like you finish this meeting today saying goodbye. So we can start by Aya and then with Mari. Sí.
Thanks. Aya and Madison, for everything, for your work, for your souls here, and I am very moved remembering all the time that spent together. It was a pleasure to work with you. We love you a lot, and take care, please.
Many thanks for all of you to be here with us today.
Yeah.
And well, we are saying goodbye with Aya and then with Maddie. Many thanks.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Many thanks to you, and many thanks to Aya and Madison for showing us your very beautiful artworks and the process. They were
you.
very mobilizing.
Thank you, Laura.
Well,
So,
Aya.
Aya, say goodbye just to all
just to
to
Ah,
finish.
finish.
Okay. We leave.
No, just say goodbye to all.
Goodbye.
You have
Or whatever you want to
whatever
say.
you say.
Yeah.
For you to finish with you and with Maddie. You are going to close the meeting. So just to say goodbye or whatever you would like to say.
I'm so happy to hear everyone comment. Thank you so much. I'm so encouraged.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Arigato.
And many
Maria.
thanks
Arigato.
for the effort to be very, very late today. Thank you. Okay, Maddie.
Dear Mary.
I thank you all for coming. It was really lovely to hear your comments and to share this with you guys. And thank you for Andrea and Gabrielle. You've really made a huge impact. The residency is amazing. I actually I'll show everybody quick.
Yes,
Got
thank you.
Please. Let me see. Oh my
This is-
God.
Yeah.
This
Oh
is
my
the little deer from the cave we went to. And
Oh
my
my
friend
God.
is the artist. It was her
Yeah.
version of the tattoo from thousands of years ago, and so I thought that was really special. So whenever I need to remember the lessons that I've learned, I can look at it. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well,
Thank you very much.
thanks a lot to everyone, and
Thank
well,
you.
Thank you.
Thank you
see
so
you
much.
in another encounter. And
Thank you so
again,
much.
thank you, Aya. Thank you, Madison, for everything.
Okay.
Thank you
Well,
for having us.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Congratulations
Bye.
to
Bye-bye.
for your
Take
work.
care,
Bye.
please.
Bye.
Congratulations. Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
Till very soon.
Yeah.